Yo, what's good? It's your boy jaysol, and we back at it, baby. Look, today we got a crazy video. Truthbound, my boy Claimer just dropped a new video on Truthbound showing us some new features of the game and the progress of the game and where it's at right now. I cannot wait to dive into this, man, and I just really appreciate, you know, the content that he shares with us. And I understand it. I know he's been kind of quiet on the Discord because it's really hard to communicate with everybody and let everybody know what's happening while you're building this game. So that's fine. And I'm like, yo, bro, take your time. I knew the silence was golden. I'm like, yo, he's working right now, and I just can't wait to dive into it to see what he's going to be providing to us for the boxing game that I'm pretty sure everybody's waiting for now, bro. Like, this game looks amazing. Like, the last video that he showed us, I'm like, I was blown away, and I know he's about to show us some really new dope features, so I can't wait to dive into this. Let's get it, man. Your boy jaysol. Let's tap in. All right, here we are. Let's get it. Let's start the video, baby.
Claimer uncut.
Prox.
Me and this dude, we don't really see eye to eye. Claimer uncut. He's a very intelligent guy.
If you guys don't know who he is, this dude is just next level.
Claimer has been super quiet for mad long.
Yeah. Oh, so this is prior to the game.
That looks good.
Look at that jab. That was
Look how amazing.
Flicker jab.
Damn, that's a mean ass jab. For the people, by the people, bro.
Yo, you saw that jab? And then he stepped to the side and avoided the punches. And I gotta give him this. This looks good.
Looks really good.
This motherfucker made this shit by himself. That's crazy. He's the only person making this.
Again, I love the camera angle.
Let's go.
Goodness, bro.
Let's go, bro. Yo, your boy made it on the Claimer video. Yo, shout out Claimer, bro. Appreciate you adding me in there, bro. What? Let's go, bro. We're gonna keep on making these contents, bro. That is a super win, bro. Shout out Claimer, bro.
Love that guy, man.
This looks really solid.
This is a solid game, bro.
Supporting this, man. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Won't say that this doesn't look good.
I'm telling you, we all feel the same, bro. This game looks crazy. You gotta support this game. This look crazy, bro. Stop playing.
This is on another level.
It
Thank
definitely
you very
is.
much to all the content creators who were kind enough to cover my
Shout
new
out
boxing
Claimer, bro.
game, Truthbound, an upcoming, highly technical boxing game developed by one man. Support the cause.
It definitely
Link in
is.
the
It's crazy.
description. Today we discuss the past, present.
If you haven't, definitely go to that Patreon, man. Y'all need to help this guy and support that, man, and go into the Patreon and definitely help with the funny, bro, because this is going to be something that we're all going to enjoy. Trust me.
The future of combat sports gaming as we enter 2026.
Undisputed,
including
Undisputed
the
2.
sequel to Undisputed, the passing of Undisputed 1. Rest in peace. The current state of Truthbound, as well as
that rest in peace sounded crazy, dog. Like Undisputed 1, bro. I'm telling you, it had so much potential, but we just had to deal with all of that stuff, man, and then finding out that the DC can't be fixed. That was crazy,
resolving
dog.
past feuds between
That
myself
was crazy.
and fellow content creators.
I didn't even
Right here.
look. I didn't even know he had feuds with people. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, I gotta go through all the old videos because I didn't know he was beefing it with a lot of content creators.
Telling the
My bad, we ran into an
not
ad.
to make content because they don't like the game. This is some stupid.
I gave you watch. Shout out, Brody.
Super big fan.
My
of
boy
this guy.
Crooks.
He kind of came at me sideways when I was in the UFC franchise.
Also,
We'll cover that a little bit later. So
so Claimer was beefing it with some of the creators for I think the UFC. I think it was more focused on UFC. That's what I seen, but he probably just calling people out. That's crazy.
why am I making Truthbound? Well, the combat game community need a game which
We do.
primarily focuses on competitive play. Isn't
Let's
that
go.
every game? No. You see, simple mechanics, broken mechanics, as well as
think that was Fight Night, huh?
These features dilute
That was Fight Night
competitive
Revival.
play. That is why I'm making Truthbound. We're cutting out the politics, bureaucracy. Instead, I'm building a game where actions feel fair and true to
Looks
real
amazing, bro.
boxing.
Look at that.
And we will achieve that based on these
And that's something that I really like, bro. Like just the way that the punches come together. Like in boxing, when you train, they're telling you have to move with your hips. Like, that is the way to box. You don't really like throw punches just regularly. You don't like. I mean, you could throw arm punches just for sheer volume, but usually when you're punching, bro, you gotta like move your hips and exchange, and that's what I love that he captured that in the game.
Pillars. Number one, strategic
Amazing.
choice. That
Strategic
includes
choice.
10 variations of the jab and precise control of your range.
See, like, so that there's not one, there's 10. He said strategic choice, 10 variations of the jab, not just one variation, bro. You're not just jabbing one way or anything. You're switching it up. You know, there's 10 different ways to throw one punch, and that right there within itself is amazing, bro. Adding that mechanic, like, is gonna give people that competitive edge and trying to figure out like how to place their shots a lot better than the person that they're facing, which is like, bro, that's A1.
With the use of feints, but most importantly, responsive footwork.
I always like that arm distance, deterrence and consequences.
Short-term and long-term stamina act as a deterrent to eliminate exploits. Position-based actions will allow you to throw a flurry of punches, and it will not be considered spam because your boxer's form, their hip rotation, shoulder placement will dictate both stamina and
easily
power,
countered,
and last of all, competitive integrity. If you're losing,
see, that's amazing, and that's the main thing with Undisputed. Like, there's just a lot of like exploits that people can use, and then they use the same combination, and it's just terrible. But you know, it seems like here he's fixing that, and he's letting you know, yo, you can be easily countered. You got to be careful, like, you know, the whole stamina drain, and in the long run. So like, that's kind of, you know, that really helps out the game, and it makes it feel more realistic. So definitely a win.
There will be no hidden stat boosts or the increased
no hidden stat boosts, so it's all skill, baby.
Knockout. These are my 3 pillars of success. And good news, Truthbound already has
its match
fundamentals in place.
And I feel like that's what's gonna make it super competitive. Like, no hidden stat boost, bro. Like, it's like, yo, we going in. You got to be competitive. You got to make sure you're landing like the punches that you need to be landing. You're timing. You're switching up. You know, you're getting these counters. You're doing everything you got to do. You're not throwing all these power punches, and because you have smoking left hook, your guy gets dazed really quick. So it's pretty much skill based, bro. So I feel like going into this game is gonna be super competitive when it comes to that.
You can either train
and I love
or
that.
compete in an
all right, let's stop this right here. So he has different matchmaking settings. So he has different matchmaking settings. Let me go ahead and block me out real quick. So under sparring, let's go into the sparring. So sparring, he has unlimited rounds with no official result, reduced damage and fatigue for extended practice, no judges, no pressure, focus on timing, and I think strategy. I can't see that word, but okay. So sparring, we don't even have a practice. We don't have a practice screen in Undisputed, bro. This one at least gives you a practice screen. At least you can warm up and figure out how to put combinations together, understanding the mechanics of the game, understanding how a boxer moves, understanding how to put punches together, what works, what doesn't work. So I see myself jumping into sparring a lot because there's really no sparring in Undisputed. You could play against the AI, and the AI can just be super crazy. But I mean, like, if we're sparring, like, you kind of want something with a limited round, like, you know, there's no official result, and, you know, hopefully like the damage output isn't even as much. So I think that's definitely a win. Let's go into the amateur. So the amateur matchmaking, 3 rounds under regulated amateur rules, emphasizes on clean scoring and defensive discipline, increased protection, and stricter stoppages. Just like if you're in an amateur fight, bro, you got that headgear on, you know, the ref is a little more concerned, and, you know, he's more involved, making sure that everything's good. So definitely a win on that, on amateur. And then we have the professional, which is 12 round fight. Under professional standards, full damage endurance and late round attrition, knockdowns count, and decisive outcomes. So late round attrition, you know, throughout the fight, if you're building stamina, damage, all that takes effects in the late rounds. So that's going to be really cool to see. And you have a custom matchmaking option, which you can adjust the rules in round duration, configure referee strictness and stoppage tolerance, modify judging criteria, damage, scaling, and recovery. I just see a lot of leagues that you know, once this becomes online multiplayer, they're gonna be creating their own rules. This is under custom rules. This is how we're gonna play the game. This is how we're gonna do things. So definitely a win with the matchmaking settings.
Not to mention,
I
have
next.
7 additional mechanics in the works, including
definitely a win.
System.
Hey, yo, that guy looks like Tyson, bro. He looks like Tyson. I like that character look. That looks pretty dope. But he added clinching, bro. We need clinching in this game. We needed clinching in Undisputed, bro. They had clinching at one point, but it really didn't have a purpose. This one, he's adding purpose to clinching, which if you're tired out in the match, you definitely want to clinch against somebody, but it can't be excessive, and it doesn't need to be abused. And hopefully there's like a mechanic to where if somebody's doing excessive clinching, they get a warning, you know. So it's like, hey, there's a purpose for doing it, but if you're doing it too much, it's not gonna work. Or maybe, you know, there's a way where it's like, yo, you have to use a certain amount of clinches, you know, in a round or something, or you get a clinch every so and so round because of something. I don't know. Like, I just feel like the clinching is a good thing. Like in Undisputed, you know, if somebody's gassed out, you kind of got to push your opponent off, which causes stamina, right? And then, like, if you want to gain any type of stamina back, people use this exploit where they just take a knee. And they take a knee and it's a 2-point round for the other person, and then they have like a 10% stamina boost, that never happens in boxing. Very unrealistic. So that's kind of crazy.
A referee who does more.
And he added a referee. We have a referee in the ring, bro. Like, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is what we need. There's a referee in the ring.
More than just
like,
stand in the background.
And he's just not standing. He's looking. He's watching the fight. Maybe he comes in and breaks it up. Like, bro, there's so much going on. Shout out Claimer, dog.
Mechanics which will serve a purpose.
And right there, I'm sorry, let's go back, because I definitely, like, I know I'm pausing a lot, guys, but I just definitely want to, like, look at that right there. That rope leaning mechanic. I've been arguing with people, bro. I've been telling people, look, we need a rope. We need some type of rope mechanic in a fight game. There hasn't been one in a boxing game. The ropes move, but there's not really a mechanic to where somebody's actually leaning on the ropes, where there's like a bungee where you can feel some type of resistance, or there's a way that you can fight off the ropes. It makes you engage differently. You know, the fighter who actually has the opponent on the ropes might have an advantage because he's the pressure fighter. Maybe if he's on the ropes, he can do the rope-a-dope, but guess what? Maybe the body's going to be a lot more open. I can see he's high guarding right now. So who knows? Like, maybe that can be an advantage for the person who actually pushed the other fighter against the ropes. You know, there's just so many things. And this is what we need, bro. Like, this is exactly what we need. So I'm loving that he added rope mechanics. We need that in a boxing game. And I'm excited for that, bro. I can't wait to see.
Serve a purpose.
Let's go.
This requires time, but I promise you, it will be
understandable.
Worth the wait.
You and Marshall, man, you had a bit of beef back in the day. Seems since then you've
okay,
been
so this is
very
the
complimentary of each other. You guys officially squashed that beef now.
The other content creator that he was beefing with.
2 years ago, it's fair to say that I bruised Marshall's reputation. At that time, he had collaborated with EA Sports to help promote sales for UFC 5. My critique also came with advice and a clear layup. Don't lose track of who you are chasing the bag. However, I made mistakes. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from the bubble to see the bigger picture.
I dropped a video and it was titled, "Marshall, you lied to us." I thought, you know what I mean? Accountability is the word.
Back then, I was an outsider, but now I understand the factions, the deceptive behavior, which in comparison make Marshall look like an angel.
In 2025, I will forgive myself for the mistakes that I've made in the past, because
so I didn't really know anything about the beef between the content creators. So yeah, I'm kind of new to this. So I gotta dive in and figure out what happened. But I'm glad that he's addressing it. That's cool that, you know, he's kind of clearing the air on that. Super dope.
Let me get closer to God. I mean, that definitely fell by the wayside quite a bit in 2024.
Marshall clearly has a close eye on my work.
That's cool.
This part always made me laugh.
That's cool.
Yes, I remember the past. Which is a good thing, because he'd understand that we are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, bro, squash the beef.
Sometimes we need an outsider, not friends with benefits,
that's a dope
to
reference.
Remind us of our full potential.
Call people shills and just basically a whole bunch of nonsense.
Telling a content creator not to make content because they don't like the game is some stupid to say. Like, I'm not going back to work. Can you
I like this, bro. There's a lot of
resume or what you
lot of smoke going on.
EA Sports UFC 4.
It's very dramatic.
The exception to the rule, iGame. I'm referring to content creators who play and promote games they do not enjoy, helping the rich get richer, the working class poorer, and make nothing in return.
Which is understandable, and which is super understandable. As a content creator, like, you know, I gotta keep that in mind. Like, I feel like I'm you know, trying to get this buzz, and I'm, you know, things are, you know, I'm creating a lot more content lately, and I feel like, yeah, you want to be true to yourself. If somebody does reach out to you like, hey, we need you to cover this, cover that, like, but it's just something that you stand by the product that you're promoting, stand by what you're playing. And, you know, I try to be very, very honest with myself when I create content and the games that I play. So this is like, you know, I don't want to do this just because somebody's paying me, and then at the end of the day, it's like, all right, like, you know, yeah, go get this game, and then you're taking my word for it, but the game is very, very trash. And, you know, yeah, that can like mislead things and make somebody else's pockets fatter, but make the community unhappy because they bought something or they're playing something, and you're telling them something's great, and they're trying to find the greatness in into something that's not there. So I understand what he's saying.
Up and coming content creators from falling into a sunk cost fallacy.
Now, from the comforts of his own living room, he works for EA Sports, testing
and it's also
video games months before they're ever
let's check this out. And it's also like a dream, bro. I mean, of course you want to, you get paid for you know, playing video games. Like that is the dream. Like, so yeah, man, I get it. Like, and these people are gonna try to buy your opinion.
Game changer programs. Not only do you put
That's
yourself
definitely one of
out
people
there,
he's saying.
but you also get an opportunity to work with guys behind the scenes.
Pretty
such
cool.
as Rexzilla.
But he says it's actually very hard work.
We're actually in there playing the game, write your feedback down, you know, send it back to them.
I think that guy was Rexzilla, so he's the same guy who's worked for EA.
It's fixed. You can't have no bad negative posts, any negative feedback or anything of that such. I work really hard.
So like that's the thing, like it's really buying like it's buying your crowd. Like you're trying to tell the content creators, you got to say this about the game. You can't say nothing negative, but it's like, okay, well, you don't want me to be truthful. You want me to say the game is good. You know, maybe this could be, oh, you can't say that. So yeah, bro, like when it comes to that point, then you're just not being truthful. And, you know, I feel like that's false advertisement for sure.
To be closely involved with the community. Oh, hold on.
Some of your peers are suffering from anxiety and depression.
That was tough.
They realize they've wasted the prime years of their life, 6 years, promoting, hyping, and defending these games with the goal to make a living, to change their lives.
A lot of YouTubers, everything explodes and they're gone. It's not something that is really meant to last forever.
Sadly, they'll likely not reach the stage of acceptance.
It's crazy.
They're bargaining on Undisputed or UFC 6 to deliver the payoff. So let's talk about it. Undisputed 2. What we know is that they've changed.
All right, we're gonna talk. We jumping into Undisputed 2. Let's see what you guys say about Undisputed
to Unreal Engine. However, an engine change has nothing.
And I hope I hope that does make something better. But let's hear it.
Gameplay or a fix for online desync. So their selling point will be hyper-realistic graphics and likely unedited motion capture of fighters gliding around the ring. We've seen this all before, right? Who remembers
Undisputed 2 cannot fail. Like it cannot fail as bad as it did this one. I feel like yes, we are going into Unreal Engine, and maybe they might be changing the gaming mechanic. They might be doing something. But if it doesn't change anything, like Claimer is saying, and he's saying that, yo, it's just gonna be the same thing. You're just gonna have better graphics, but everything else is gonna stay the same. You're gonna still be dealing with desync. You're gonna still be dealing with all of these issues that we had. And I'm just like, yo, if that's the case, then yeah, man, Undisputed probably isn't that. It's probably gonna be a flop. You know, it's already gonna be bad because like the marketing point that they're gonna try to bring is, you know, they have to do like this whole PR run where they're actually playing the game in front of people, playing online, and showcasing that there is no desync. I feel like that's the only way that they can show something and really do like some, you know, pre-marketing before the game even reaches the shelves. Because at this point, like, yeah, bro, if it's gonna be the same thing as Undisputed 1, it's a flop to me, bro.
Hyper-realistic Eddie Hall. So with that, the question is, does Undisputed 2 have a hope in hell?
Hyper-realistic. You see those lines on his lips? Pause.
Down. The major selling point of Undisputed 1, it was the first licensed boxing
game. It had so much potential.
In over 15 years.
Yes.
It was developed by a small indie company, introducing a plethora of boxers who'd never been captured in a video game before. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford.
The hype that the game had was crazy. I'm just like, bro, like they have all these new fighters. They had everything, bro, in place. And I was playing the game first day beta. Like I played this when they first dropped it, when people had to wait 30 minutes to get in a round. When, bro, I was there, bro. I was in the very first day where they let anybody play. I was like, okay, cool. I jumped on, bro. I was putting start and I was waiting 20 minutes just to get in the round. I'll go do something. I'll come back and be like, oh, I got a round. Jump in and it'll be like red bar, whatever. But I was still trying to enjoy it as much as I could, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Nello, Riyadh season was bringing a new lease of life to boxing. That was
that's true.
And this is now. Steel City Interactive have lost all credibility. Turkey Al Sheikh
that rating is
now
crazy.
Investing in TKO boxing. Most of our global superstars have seen their stock drop. So who are they going to use as their mascot? They're going to invest a ridiculous amount of money in Floyd.
And I have a feeling that Riyadh season is probably going to make another boxing game. I think I think they're gonna be talking with EA, because I think EA is gonna come out with something, and they might not even be. It might not even be Fight Night. It might be something just different, bro.
Mayweather and Mike Tyson, who are known to Gen Z for clown shows with the Paul brothers. What about fighter DLC? I don't think the public are willing to pay for all these fighters again. So how about they just improve their game? Undisputed 2 must remain a simplified game to sell to the casual audience. The more complex, the more things to fix. They won't be testing the game in early access, and consider all of their expenses.
I agree. I mean, like, my whole thing is, like, when they add something new, or they try to change the things that are already in the game for right now, and they're just trying to fix something else, it's like everything else breaks. So it's like they fix one thing here, and then there's like 10 other things down the line that just broke, that they got to go back and fix that, and then they fix that one thing, and then there's something else that it's hard, bro. I don't know if it's like just the engine that they built it on, or like how they built it from the jump, and maybe this can be just like a fresh restart. You can't like copy and paste what you did with Undisputed, because it has to be like, you have to kind of emulate, like find a balance to where it's similar, but I think you're gonna have to like rebuild and restructure that whole thing. So it might be coming out, like, I don't know, in 2 years, not even in a year. I think that's gonna take some time.
A new studio, new managers, teams, and investors. All of these people are depending on one game's success. They can't afford to take any chances.
They can't, bro.
Hope I entertained you guys one last time. Now we fully focus on Truthbound. If you want to support my journey, consider joining my Ko-fi, or just a one-off coffee. Thank you to all the content creators once again. I'm not always
shout
out,
so shout out Claimer
to educate me. But as I said for Marshall, friends with benefits would tell you what you want to hear. With that being said, all the best, and I look forward to being affiliated with you in the future. A huge thank you to all of my Ko-fi guardians.
And that's where we're at right now, guys. So look, definitely go support his Patreon. Do that, man. And you know, shout out to Claimer. He's letting us know, ayo, here you go. Here's some content. I hope you enjoyed it, but I gotta get back to finishing this game. So this game might be coming a lot sooner than we hope. Hopefully in this year. If not this year, then next year. I don't care, man. As long as we get this game, because this is gonna be crazy. Adding everything that he's adding into it with everything that we had before. He's taking his time. You can tell, and you can just see how the game looks where it comes to, you know, when it comes to the graphics, you know, the rope mechanics, the clinching, you know, the matchmaking. Like, we're gonna have something super solid. So shout out to Claimer, bro. You amazing job, bro. I can't wait to hear more updates. I'm gonna be staying in tune, bro, and whenever we get that, I know you're gonna be working, bro, but I appreciate you, and thank you for adding me in the video. That was a super big win for me, you know, as a small content creator. But I am growing, bro, and I'm gonna keep on covering Truthbound. I cannot wait to see it. One love for you, bro. Appreciate you. We out of here. You already know who it is, guys. Jaysol. Let's get it.